This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, anxious individuals are sought for a potentially first-of-its-kind study being conducted locally. A pop-up along George Street sends a message that you wouldn't normally encounter in a shopping area. And a military farewell brings the city to a standstill, but it won't be the last time the regiment's colours are seen. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. Residents are being asked to help local researchers discover a new way of diagnosing anxiety. The University of Otago staff have found a part in the brain which could assist in identifying the condition, and their study is believed to be the first of its kind.
Testing for a diagnosis. These researchers are trialling a test they've created to analyse who might have anxiety or be more predisposed to getting it in the future.
What we're trying to do is find the source of anxiety in the brain, or strictly in this case, a measure of variation in how anxious people are likely to be on a personality basis.
Researchers believe they've found a signal in the brain that is connected with anxiety, and they're trialling it through a simple test. Participants put on an electrode cap and press the corresponding mouse button when left or right arrows come on screen. When it beeps, they have to stop clicking, which conflicts the brain, and from there, researchers are expecting to see the anxiety characteristic vary between people.
The next step would be to identify people on the basis of this biological characteristic, so we could have a biologically defined anxiety disorder rather than the current system where disorders are diagnosed on the basis of symptoms.
At the moment, there's no way to biologically test anxiety in the brain, and this method of study has never been done before on anxiety. The research team is hoping to test 1,000 unmedicated people, ranging from completely healthy to those who believe they have severe anxiety. McNaughton's hoping to find a completely new way to diagnose the illness so it can be used on the general public.
Major advance that I hope we could make is to be able to biologically define a particular form of anxiety, and so develop from the known biology new treatments, new testing methods, particularly new clinical tests.
The 3-year study is being funded by a $1 million grant from the Health Research Council. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Authorities are investigating the cause of a fire at the Green Island landfill. A resident reported the blaze to emergency services at about 3:20 this morning. Council staff say the fire was on the tip face where recent rubbish was dumped. Smoke prompted authorities to warn nearby residents to keep doors and windows shut. But around 8 a.m. the blaze stopped producing smoke and it was fully extinguished by mid-morning. Council staff aren't sure what started the fire. Diggers were used to break up and remove the affected rubbish. Dunedin's main shopping street is littered with empty stores, prompting temporary pop-ups to brighten the CBD. The Mayor has just opened the latest retail installation, occupying a large commercial space for the next week. But the message to residents is contradictory to that of most consumer businesses.
Launching an oxymoron of sorts, Dunedin Mayor Dave Cull has officially opened a Fashion Revolution pop-up in the heart of the main shopping area. It's all about reducing textile waste and fast fashion consumerism.
We want to reduce consumer waste to landfill, which would be amazing because Dunedin's textile waste has tripled since 2006. We're now at 9% and we'd love that to be zero.
Fashion is the most environmentally damaging industry behind oil and gas. This is the third project through the Urban Dream brokerage scheme, which involves the City Council. It aims to temporarily fill empty shops in the CBD with colourful and creative initiatives. There are about a dozen vacant shops in the top section of George Street alone, and the Mayor's unsure if high rent is the sole problem.
I imagine that if margins are down, or if retailers have to reduce their prices to compete with online retail, they may be less able to pay the rents that were quite reasonable some time ago. But I'm not an expert in rental levels, but you know, the markets have to adapt to reality.
All week, members of the public can wander into Unstitched and explore what Fashion Revolution's all about. Activities include mending old favourites to swapping unwanted garments and discovering where clothes are made. Organisers want residents to enjoy learning about what they can do on a small scale to make a difference globally.
I think a lot of the issues around fast fashion and inequality and all of those big scary issues can be really overwhelming. So just to learn that there is something simple that we can all do in our everyday lives and that it can be fun.
Workshops are being run in the space over the next few days, covering international fashion disasters to sewing machine maintenance and beanie making. It's part of the growing focus on making Dunedin a zero-waste city. Rosie Mannins, 39 Dunedin News.
More free Wi-Fi zones are set to be established for the public throughout the city. The Dunedin City Council has signed a deal with Spark to create another dozen gig-speed Wi-Fi hotspots. They'll be in addition to the Octagon wireless connection, which was launched late last year. The council is spending $430,000 on the project. 5 of the Wi-Fi zones are expected to be ready for use by the end of the year, with the rest becoming available next year. They include the Central City Library, Dunedin Botanic Garden and St Clair Esplanade. The council is also considering whether to create more free Wi-Fi spots in outlying areas. The final farewell of the New Zealand Scottish Regiment brought the Central City to a standstill at the weekend. A large parade and formal ceremony was held to lay down the regiment's colours in Dunedin for good, but it won't be the last time they're seen locally.
Farewelling an important part of military history. The colours of the New Zealand Scottish Regiment, which began in Dunedin, have been formally laid to rest at a public ceremony. The event marks the disbandment of the last components of the regiment, which formed in 1939.
During that time, thousands of New Zealand citizens served in that unit and served under those colours. And the colours represent the spirit of the unit. And so by laying up the colours is the final part of saying goodbye to this unit. And so we need to honour all of those Kiwis who had served in the unit.
A large-scale parade, months in the planning, helped bring the uniquely coloured flags through the CBD to their final resting place at Toitu Otago Settlers Museum. The city was described by Mayor Dave Cull as the most fitting place for the regiment's final farewell, and those in the Defence Force agree.
I guess Dunedin being the home of Scottish traditions in New Zealand, appropriate that A, the Scottish Regiment was sort of based here, and then B, that the colours are now laid up here and will be available for the citizens of Dunedin to view in the future.
A large crowd gathered to view the march through central streets, acknowledging the service of fellow citizens. Lieutenant Colonel Gibbons says regardless of people's personal views on the Defence Force, it's vital they recognise this end of an era.
I think it's important just to acknowledge that people do choose to serve. No one in New Zealand is forced to do so. And so, you know, all these thousands of people who had served in the unit volunteered to do so. So I think it is it's appropriate for definitely us to do so. And I think from what we saw on the streets today, the fantastic reception that we got, and so that was great.
The colours are now permanently housed at Toitu and will be brought out for Anzac Day each year. Their storage ensures they're well preserved for future generations to view and learn about a significant slice of local history. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, the Guild of Gadgeteers focuses on youths and a world record attempt ends with a double win.
Far too much stock, Alex Campbell Menswear, South Dunedin. Don't let me bore you, but it's rock bottom. Jeans, $40. Casual pants from only $20. Shorts from $30. Hundreds of them. Hundreds and hundreds of shirts at rock bottom prices from $20 and knitwear from $50. That's rock bottom.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's rock bottom.
Tu vas voir Marjolaine et vous maquiller. D'accord, ok.
For professional, reliable and approachable service where your dream kitchen design can become an affordable reality, contact the team at Kitchens for Less. Call 455 9973 or visit us online.
Ecrotech Limited have been supplying beekeeping equipment and honey products in New Zealand for over 100 years. A specialist manufacturer of hiveware and plastic products for the beekeeping industry. They are the leading supplier of beekeeping equipment nationwide. For all your beekeeping needs, visit ecrotech.co.nz or call 0800 11 7766.
Mobility scooters Otago's. Mobility scooters, new and used, electric manual wheelchairs, strollers and walkers. Free home demonstration and delivery. Call Tony on 03 455 2875 or visit our showroom, 211 King Edward Street, opposite Westpac.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Here's something else to look forward to sinking your teeth into every weekend with the Otago Daily Times, the Weekend Mix, your guide to what's hot in fashion, entertainment, food and more. New weekend magazine in your ODT. Pick up your copy this Saturday.
Welcome back. Relatively low petrol values are continuing to influence the consumer's price index, which rose a modest 0.2% in the last quarter. Fuel fell 7.7% in the largest downward contribution for the period. It was offset by higher prices for cigarettes, food and housing related costs. The average price of a litre of 91 octane slumped to $1.69 over the first quarter of 2016. Low oil prices coupled with a more competitive market has also contributed to cheaper airfares, both domestic and international. And on that note, let's take a look at today's markets. The NZX 50 has closed the day up 6 points. It's now at 6,851. The Nikkei is down 489 points. To the exchange rates, and the Kiwi dollar is up against the major currencies we follow. The Dunedin Gasworks Guild of Gadgeteers is working to engage local youth with fun activities at an old heritage site. Members have been organising events, including a recent family festival at the Dunedin Gasworks Museum, and Simone Montgomery joins us to talk about it. Good evening.
Hi.
And what a fabulous outfit.
Thank you.
Now, what is the Gasworks Guild of Gadgeteers?
It's an association of people who enjoy steampunk and are quite artistic and group together in that format to have fun, really, and dress up and be silly.
When was it set up?
It was set up at the Gasworks in 2011, somewhere around the middle of 2011. Our minds are a bit vague on that. And it's been going quite strong ever since. And we joined up with the Gasworks because it is a heritage site and it is set in the Victorian era. Steampunk is Victorian science fiction, so it is about people mixing together to join to involve themselves in Victoriana.
Tell us about yesterday's fun day.
Yesterday's fun day, which was an absolutely amazing success, it attracted a range of big kids and little kids, and the big kids enjoyed it as much as the little kids. And it was based around making a range of steampunk gadgets for children, so that could engage children with steampunk. So we made jetpacks, goggles, hats, and jetpacks, and ray guns. Really important to have your ray gun.
How many people were there?
We had about 250 people. We wouldn't have coped if there was 2,000 people there. And that was a fantastic turnout for the Gasworks.
What is unique about the Gasworks Museum?
There's only 3 of them working in the world, and that makes the Gasworks Museum a really important heritage site for Dunedin and for New Zealand.
Are you working to promote it in any other ways?
We will continue to have steampunk events there and do our sort of steampunk activities there, and the sorts of things that are going to continue, because the holiday program or the holiday day was so successful that we'll do that again. And the Heritage Society is also promoting quite a few events there. There will be a big event in October, the end of October, which will also accumulate in a Halloween day. They always have a really fantastic Halloween day. The week before Halloween there's going to be a Mad Hatter's Tea Party, which is going to be run by the Gasworks and the Guild, and they also have Minecraft school event and the Forge runs quite frequently. So there's quite a lot going on out
absolutely.
there.
Is steampunk becoming more popular in Dunedin?
It is, yes. It's becoming more popular everywhere because people can kind of release their creativity. You can make gadgets, you can make clothes, you can just generally hang out with a really interesting range of people.
And tell us a little bit about this thing on your arm.
This thing on my arm.
What's that about?
It's my time travelling device, and it is designed to create a portal so I can travel when I don't want to go to work, maybe.
Can you make one for me as well, please?
I'll see what I can do.
From the Gasworks Guild of Gadgeteers, Simone Montgomery, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, a marathon hockey game smashes a world record, but that's not all its organisers are happy about. And we find out who else is benefiting from a teddy bear hospital.
Sir Bob Charles, New Zealand's greatest golfer and still going strong.
I'm sure that Sportsville was a contributing factor to my success, and I'll continue to use it.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville, a product so good he puts his name to it.
Well, I believe Sportsville helps maintain your quality of life.
Now being used by active men and women globally to support strength and mobility.
It works for me.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville in the new all-black pack. Call now for the Sportsville special, 0800 502 402.
Mobility Scooters Otago. Mobility Scooters, new and used, electric manual wheelchairs, strollers and walkers. Free home demonstration and delivery. Call Tony on 03 455 2875 or visit our showroom, 211 Canudwood Street, opposite Westpac.
Ecro Tech Limited have been supplying beekeeping equipment and honey products in New Zealand for over 100 years. A specialist manufacturer of hiveware and plastic products for the beekeeping industry. They are the leading supplier of beekeeping equipment nationwide. For all your beekeeping needs, visit ecrotech.co.nz or call 0800 117766.
Ready Lawn has the perfect solution for all those lawn woes. Call Ready Lawn today on 486 1819.
Oui, tu vas voir Marjolaine et le maquillage. D'accord, ok.
New Zealand Beeswax Limited are the quintessential beeswax, woodware and beekeeping suppliers. From the amateur beekeeper to the commercial operator, New Zealand Beeswax Limited has the quantity to meet your needs. For great prices, great service New Zealand-wide, contact New Zealand Beeswax Limited on 03 693 9189 or visit www.beeswax.co.nz.
Far too much stock, Alex Campbell Menswear, South Dunedin. Don't let me bore you, but it's rock bottom. Jeans, $40. Casual pants from only $20. Shorts from $30. Hundreds of them. Hundreds and hundreds of shirts at rock bottom prices. From $20. And knitwear from $50. That's rock bottom.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's rock bottom.
Tune in on Thursday for Motorsport Night on Dunedin Television.
Welcome back. A biennial student relay has raised more than $60,000 for the local branch of the Cancer Society. 55 tertiary teams participated in the University of Otago's Relay for Life event held on campus at the weekend. It was the second time the student-specific fundraiser had been held in Dunedin. Dozens of community Relay for Life activities are staged nationwide in support of cancer victims. Local university and polytechnic students were involved in the 14-hour overnight relay, which ended on Saturday morning. Police are investigating 5 incidents of assault in the city over the weekend. A 21-year-old Dunedin man suffered minor injuries after being attacked on the corner of Dowling and Princes Streets at about 3 a.m. yesterday. Another man reportedly had his nose broken during an altercation in the Octagon on Saturday night. Police say 3 other assaults from the weekend are also under investigation. There were 2 reported in South Dunedin around Surrey Street and Hillside Road, and another near Church Street in Mosgiel. Officers had no further details of those incidents. A marathon game of hockey involving more than 200 players has unofficially smashed a world record. The Otago Hockey fundraiser centred around having the most players ever involved in an exhibition match. But while the record was broken, it's the money raised that organisers are most pleased about.
A game for the record books. Otago Hockey is attempting to officially break the world record for the most people taking part in an exhibition match. The game on Friday night also served as a fundraiser for 2 new electronic scoreboards, which are needed for upcoming competitions.
At the moment, Otago Hockey sort of slipped behind some of our counterparts around the rest of the country that have had these facilities put in place. And with these scoreboards, we're likely to host more national tournaments, whether that be age grade or even masters, or even when it comes to international games.
Each of the more than 250 registered players paid a $20 admission fee, of which a portion goes towards purchasing the scoreboards. They cost around $7,000 each. The fundraising idea has been floating around for several years.
This is the brainchild of a woman called Shirley Gillett, who is the head of Keytop and has been around Otago Hockey for a number of years. Now, she wanted to do this event a number of years ago, but had sort of got put to the back of her mind a number of times, and was now in the position to do it, and has just been walking around cloud 9. She has just been over the moon with how this has all come together.
The rules for the record attempt are strict, with everyone involved required to play for 10 minutes or more and touch the ball at least once. A handful of big names took part in the game, including former Black Sticks as well as members of the Dunedin City Council. One such player was happy to see members of a local organisation using some initiative to get what they need.
This is yet another group that's got together to get some facilities for themselves, but that will benefit the whole city. So with scoreboards here, we're going to get a whole lot of events into town, so it's not just hockey that benefits, it's the whole community.
Otago Hockey smashed the previous England-held record by over 100 players, raising more than $5,000 towards the new scoreboards in the process. The record still has to be verified by Guinness World Record officials, which could take several months. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
Hundreds of children have had a reassuring encounter at a medical school clinic where they took their toys to get tested. The Teddy Bear Hospital is run each year by young doctor and dentist trainees from the University of Otago to help children get used to health professionals. But the kids aren't the only ones benefiting.
Checking over the patient. This well-loved children's toy is getting a health examination as part of the medical school's annual Teddy Bear Hospital. It's about exposing kids to the clinical environments that they'll encounter throughout life.
It's basically just getting the children in to come and see a teddy doctor or a teddy dentist in a really fun and exciting way. So our main aim is to try and reduce anxiety for children when they're coming to the doctor and the dentist by showing them that it can actually be fun and we're not so frightening.
About 200 school children attended the clinic's public open day on Saturday and 500 preschoolers were involved in the week leading up to it. Youngsters got to talk with health students, play with medical gear and tour a St John ambulance. They also watched their teddies undergo common health checks.
The children get the exposure to the medical students and to a clinical kind of environment, but in a really fun way, and so they get to play with things like they play with the oxygen mask and put that on, which can be a really, really scary thing for them, and they get to play with all the instruments like the stethoscope and get to put it around their necks.
The week-long Teddy Bear Hospital has been running for 8 years. Organisers say it's about doing their bit to eliminate fear for young patients in regards to medical environments and interactions with clinical staff.
It can seem really, really intimidating with their stethoscopes and their white coats, and often they are doing really invasive things to them, especially like needles and especially with the dentist and things like that with the drill. It can be really, really frightening things, and so we're trying to put a spin on it.
Medical students also benefit from spending time with children at the Teddy Hospital. Their ability to conduct consultations with kids is a necessary part of their training. Annabelle Dick, 39, Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's stories on 39 Dunedin News. Residents are helping academics trial a new method for diagnosing anxiety in a university study funded by the Health Research Council. A zero-waste fashion hub is opened for a week in George Street as part of a project to brighten the CBD's empty retail shops. And the New Zealand Scottish Regiment has formally been disbanded with a large-scale military ceremony in the central city. It's time now to find out what's going to be in Tuesday's Otago Daily Times. And Barry Stewart joins us. Good evening.
Hello, Rebecca. Poor quality of hospital patient meals has become a staff safety issue in mental health wards. So we have more on that story. Wind farm project near Blueskin Bay has been given a boost. A planner has recommended that its resource consent to be granted. So 3 turbines on top of Porteous Hill. Look out for that. 2 young people were involved in a dramatic jet ski rescue this afternoon, and a decision on the West's liquor licence is out.
Right, details in tomorrow's ODT. Thanks, Barry. Time now for local weather.
This 39 Dunedin News weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Emu Oil.
And here is today's city view. It's taken of the Gardens sports field. And around the city at 3 o'clock today, 14 degrees for the central city, 17 at the Gardens, 18 for the Taieri. To the situation, a cool southerly flow blows over us as an anticyclone develops in the Tasman. To some of the regional forecasts now, westerlies and some cloud for Invercargill and Tiana, but fine weather for Gore and Alexandra, and fine weather for Queenstown, Oamaru, Wanaka and Twizel. And Dunedin tonight, cold with a low of 4. Tomorrow and Wednesday, mostly fine and sunny. Looking for 16 tomorrow, 17 on Wednesday. To the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information, low tide tomorrow mornings at 8:30, and fishing conditions look good tomorrow, especially around 10:30 in the morning. That's local news for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.